Why are you smiling?
Because we're waiting for somebody to talk to, and you came along.
Why? What do you want to talk about?
Well, we're doing this series of documentaries about people for SBS.
Right.
You know, where we just sort of bump into people in the street and say, what's your name?
Right.
What's your name?
Lachelle. My name is Lachelle, yeah.
Lachelle. And we sort of ask them things like, what a great vest you've got.
It's all right, yeah.
Did you make it?
No, I didn't actually. My mom sent it to me.
She sent it to you?
Yeah, from the States.
If I give her my address, would she send me one? I've been looking. You can't get those.
Actually, my mother's like that. If I tell her, what's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew. If I say my friend Andrew really wants one of these, she'll probably find one for you.
You're from the States?
Yeah.
Do you live here now?
Yep, I've been here 8 years.
Do you like it?
It's all right.
What brought you here?
I actually met an Australian over there when I was in uni, about the second year, and we got to know each other, wrote back and forth. I finished school, came here for a visit a couple of years later. And
was this like a romantic get-to-know?
No, this is just a friend. Just somebody I've befriended, yeah.
Are you still friends?
No, actually, no. What happened was that she's from this little country town in Canberra. And unfortunately, I got here and realized that her family and her were very racist. And although she befriended me in the States, I don't think that coming here was probably the last thing her family thought would happen.
They didn't realize that you were black?
Well, I think they knew it, unless she didn't tell them.
All right.
But, you know, once I got here, she was just really strange, and she was getting married, and she sort of said, oh, I'll stick around for the wedding. I said, fine, which was like in a month. Next thing I know, she said, oh, look, I'm really sorry, but I heard her over talking to her sister on the phone, and she was upset because she couldn't invite me to the wedding because her father wouldn't have it. And it was pretty bad. It's a good thing I didn't leave Australia. I really thought I'd leave. You know, I rang my parents. They said, get back over here. What kind of shit is that? And I said, no, look, I can sort it out myself, and I did. So she moved. I just moved, you know, hung around in Sydney. I've never talked to her since. Right. So it's one of those things, you know. She was part of me coming here, which was great, but I didn't have to put up with the kind of shit, you know, that her and her family put me through, in a sense, you know. I work as a vocational counselor and a trainer, so I sort of train people in job club like activities, resume writing, interview techniques, stuff like that.
How did you get into that?
I studied psychology anyway when I was in university, and I came out of there working with people with disabilities and employment, and so I've done that for about 9 years. It's been the last probably 6 weeks I changed over to working with people that are unemployed and so forth, so on.
What is the special thing that you do with them? I mean, do you have to treat them in a different way?
I just treat them like people, basically. I mean, I don't have any sympathy for them. I don't have sympathy for their problems. I'm an amputee myself. I lost my leg when I was 3 months old. And
how did you lose your leg?
I had club foot when I was born. I've got a twin sister, and we both had club foot. They put the cast on my leg first to straighten it out. Gangrene set in it because it was too tight. It was just a big scandal. You know how it is in the States in the 60s, you know, that kind of crap. City-owned hospital, rah, rah, rah. So, it's, you know, but I never let it get in my way. And so even like a situation where I can experience this kind of racism thing that I experienced with this friend who shocked me. I never thought that this would happen. That wasn't going to put me down because being an amputee all my life never put me down. So you just move on. And I guess I kind of share that with people. But more than anything, I just try and get them to use what they've got. And people don't know what they have. Well, I have a partner who is absolutely adorable and lovely. How
did you meet?
We actually met in the States. So my partner's only been here for about 1.5 years. Yeah.
Is it a he or a she?
I mean, you have to ask.
These days you have to ask, yes?
We met at a summer camp. I worked as a counselor when I was 21. She was 9. She was a camper. We met because sometimes she was in some of my classes when I taught classes, and other times she wasn't. But anyway, she was just one of those cute little kids at camp that needed something, and I did the best I can to get what she wanted, get what she needed. And if she wanted to be in a class, I tried to get her into a class by talking to other counselors. The strange story there was it was a mostly black and Hispanic summer camp. She was 1 out of 5 white kids. So I really befriended her because I didn't want her to feel like a minority. She also has a brother who has something wrong with his leg. So she spent most of the time, the 3 months around the summer camp, protecting me by telling kids about my leg. So in a sense, I didn't have to talk to other kids about what happened. She always did it. And then she needed to get into certain classes when they were booked in. I tried to make sure so it was that kind of friendship. She looked after me, I looked after her. Don't know why it happened. It was for 3 months. She went off, I went off, and I went back the following summer. She wasn't there. And then she started writing me back in 88, I think, and 88, 89. Then I went home in 93 and met her again, and we just fell in love. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And did she change a lot physically to look at?
Well, she had shorter hair, which is really funny because I've got a photo of her when she was 9, right? And she's got long hair, she's a scraggly little 9-year-old kid. So I can't tell whether it was anything physical, except that she's not a kid, you know?
Yeah.
But of course I didn't look at her as a potential partner at 9. She's just a sweet little kid. We used to sort of go to a few of the dance places around town. She's a real homebody. I used to be a rage. I'm getting older. I'm now a homebody.
You're getting older.
I'm getting older. You know, a couple of years ago in Sydney, I was always at the clubs hanging out, but now I don't. I tend to like to stay home and sort of fix the house up and stuff like that. So I would like to actually, I was thinking about this the other day, I'm going to actually start having more people over, start having people and entertaining at home kind of thing. So I think everyone's kind of getting bored of, I don't know, maybe we're all getting older. Something's happening.
A Bert Simpson fan?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's great. I've never seen one of their ties before.
Oh yeah, I got it yesterday.
You got it yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you buy it yourself?
Yeah.
Wasn't somebody giving you a nice gift or anything?
No.
Yeah.
No one does anything like that for me.
Don't they?
No. I'm just a bastard.
No, you said that.
Yeah.
Should I believe you?
Oh, it's up to you.
Are you having a smoko or are you?
Yeah.
just-
Yeah. Just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Have a smoke.
Yeah. What do you do?
Oh, sell shoes.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Just across the road there at Williams.
You buy your own shoes too?
Yeah. I bought these ones this morning.
Gee, you're buying a lot of things lately.
Yeah.
Shirts new too, I can see that.
Yeah. And my pants. Woo.
Yeah. Whole new outfit.
Yeah.
Whereabouts do you live?
Jandakot.
All right.
Yeah.
With your mum and dad?
Yep.
They're nice people?
Yeah.
Do they reckon you're a bastard?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. What do you do that really annoys them?
Oh, I'm never home.
Yeah.
I'm always out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Partying.
Yeah.
You like to have a party?
Yeah.
What sort of things do you do?
Surf.
No, I mean at
basically.
parties.
Oh, at parties, drink.
Drink.
Yeah.
Until you fall over.
Don't generally stand up. Try not to anyway.
What's happening this weekend, Ben?
This weekend I might go down the drags at Ravenswood.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your haircut.
Yeah.
Have you had that long or is that new too?
Oh, no, it's been there for a while now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you have it before?
Like this.
Yeah?
Bit longer.
Bit longer.
Yeah.
It's pretty short. How often do you have to crop it?
Done it about once a week lately.
Yeah? With what, razor?
Yeah. Oh, no, clippers.
Have you got a girlfriend?
No, not at this present moment in time. No.
But that's just an accident of timing, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've broken up with somebody.
No. Just can't be bothered with it.
Why did Greg Norman buy a new car?
Why?
Because his Golf broke down.
Is this a customer?
No, she's a friend, but she can be a customer. We'll
Oh,
try and
no,
sell
I
it
just
some-
didn't want to interrupt the sale.
No, that's all right.
Just thought we'd come and talk to you and ask you some questions. Tell us about your shop.
Well, it's a ladies' fashion and lingerie and accessories.
Yes.
It's middle of the road.
Price-wise.
Price-wise. Mainly Australian labels,
Right.
Australian products.
How long have you been here?
Well, this is my former partner. We were here for 3 years together, Barbara, and then I've nearly been on my own for 3 years.
Right.
For
Did
6
you buy
years.
Barbara out?
Yes.
Yes. And are you glad that you're no longer here?
I do have a shop in the arcade.
Oh, you moved around the road
Yes.
with a different... You're not
Different
competitors.
market, no, different market. I specialise in the larger sizes.
I see. But in what, just clothes?
Just clothing,
Right.
yes.
Obviously, retailing is addictive, is it?
Well, it is. Once you're in it, it's very hard to get out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you friends when you were partners?
Yes. Yes. We've been
We've
friends
known
for
each other.
nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you maintain a friendship while you run a business? Is it...
It's hard work. My husband told us when we became friends, it's like marriage. You've got to work at it all the time. You've got to give and take.
Yeah. Did you have any rows, arguments?
Oh, we've had
disagreements?
discussions
Yeah.
and all that, but that's part of the deal.
Yeah, right.
You can't leave things unattended. You have to sort of deal with whatever comes
Yes.
up and put it behind you and get on with your life.
Right. Now, what were you doing here right now? You've
It's
left the
Vera's
shop.
birthday today, and she was
Ah.
opening her presents.
From you?
Yes.
What did you buy her?
Well, she's going to win $2 million on Saturday night with a
Tats ticket.
Tats Lotto ticket.
That's not a tacky present. $2 million. That's
I
very
think it's
nice.
very
Very good,
generous.
very
Yes.
good.
And this is a salad for a mixer for salad dressing. Salad dressing.
Have you seen a darker side of her?
Oh yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
yeah,
But that's okay. Everybody's got a dark side.
indeed. And but
She's probably seen mine too, more often than I want to recount.
is that true?
No, well, what you'd call a dark side, it's just, you know, I insist of people being themselves. And if you're not happy, you can't put on a front. It shows.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we've had days where we just didn't feel like being happy
Yes.
or smiley.
Yes.
And, you know, you can't say that that's a bad thing.
Sure.
You can't hold it against someone if they're just in a bad mood.
Tell us a bit about your family.
Well, I have 2 children, a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old, both girls. They're delightful, they're lovely, very, very loving. And I have a wonderful husband.
He's not in the rag trade.
No. God help us if he was. No, he's self-employed. He does plastering and carpentry and fencing and stuff like that.
What's his name?
Victor?
Victor.
Yeah.
Did he ask you out?
Well, our relationship
work
was
that
sort of a bit different because he'd been married before and I knew him and his wife before. And it's just, you know, I came back from overseas and we ran into each other and started going out after his marriage had broken down. And before you knew it, that was it. We were an item and a couple.
And are you married? Do you have a family?
Oh yes, I had a husband. I now have a common law husband, and I have 2 children. A boy, my son's 27, my daughter's 25, and my son has got a beautiful daughter. And
That's your first.
that's my first grandchild, and there is another one on the way. And
You don't look pleased about it or anything.
Oh, it's wonderful being
Yeah?
a grandmother. Yes, absolutely.
And how long is this present relationship? How old is that?
That is 6 years now.
Still sort of, does it feel new still?
It feels like I've known him my whole life. It's like the man that I've been waiting for. Some women never find that person, but I'm very lucky. Halfway through my life, I found him. Well, I asked him out.
Yes.
He knew how to get in touch with me, but that phone call was the one that never came.
Mm-hmm.
So I bit the bullet and rang him. Sometimes you just got to make it happen.
Yes.
And if he'd rejected me, okay, so that's life.
Was there a reaction immediately?
Yes, but he was playing hard to get. So, and for reasons which I understand, it took a lot of work on my part
Yeah.
to get him to come round to how I wanted things.
Yes. But in the end,
Oh yeah,
well,
yeah.
and he's
He succumbed.
okay. Any more?
What's the most shocking city in the world?
What?
Electricity.
Can you tell us how you met? You start.
Probably have different
It was
versions.
just an
Different
ongoing
version. What's your version?
parties through friends
Yeah.
over a period of about 4 or 5 years.
You kept running into each other.
Yeah,
Right?
basically.
Deliberately.
was
What's-
tracking him down.
You were tracking him down. You were tracking her down.
I was running actually.
Yeah?
I gave in the end.
So how do you think he gave in?
He couldn't resist me. We met each other a long time ago and we'd bump into each other, but we were usually drunk when we did that. And one day, I don't know, I guess he rang me up. Yeah, he did. He rang me up one day. It's a long wait.
Well, you were waiting.
I wasn't actually, no, I wasn't waiting, but it was nice to hear from him.
How would you describe your relationship now?
Good, yeah. It took a while to get going, but
Yeah?
it's quite good. Yeah.
Okay. Is good a fair enough word?
I'm a lot more descriptive than Leo.
Yes?
Yeah, it is good. We have our moments, I suppose everyone does.
Where were you brought up? What part of... Were you brought up in Sydney?
No, I was born we're both from Melbourne actually, we're here on holidays.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Sri Lanka and I've lived in Melbourne for about 20 odd years.
And what about the cultural environment in which you grew up? Was that...
Well, I think I was quite fortunate because I had a mixture of the East and the West, probably more Western, but my parents still maintained a lot of the Sri Lankan culture.
Mm-hmm. What do you argue about?
Everything.
Everything. What's going on? What have you got?
I'm very inquisitive by nature. We're very different personalities, and I guess sometimes we sort of rub each other up because of that.
What sort of things?
It's hard to be specific. It's just that I'm a lot more loud and vocal than Leo is. He tends to keep things to himself, whereas I want to know everything now, and I want to know what's going on in terms of, I don't know, most things. And I've got a very open relationship with my family. We discuss everything, whereas Leo's a lot more closed-mouthed about his feelings and things like that.
How does your family relate to Leo?
At first, they were a bit wary, I suppose. And then I suppose they got to know him. My parents have quite high expectations for me, and I guess at the end of the day, they just want me to be happy. So in that way, I guess I am happy, so they're happy.
You're happy. That's good. Are you happy, Leo?
Definitely.
Yeah?
We're on television.
Let's talk about, you said you were different professionally. What do you do?
I work as a solicitor.
Right.
I'm a carpenter.
A carpenter.
Yeah.
You would think then, looking at you and knowing that you're a solicitor and Leo is a carpenter, that there's absolutely nothing in common between you, right?
I actually disagree.
But you disagree?
I think that's why I was attracted to Leo, because he's different to me in a way, but he's very similar to me in other ways. And the ways that are important, he's similar to me. So I think the qualities that I really admire in someone, Leo's got.
Can you name a couple?
Sure. Integrity.
Integrity.
Kindness. Honesty. Just decency. I think Leo's had a really decent upbringing, and I think that's reflected in his behaviour towards other people, towards me, and I do like that.
But would you, if he did something that you didn't like, would you forgive him? Do you forgive easily?
Depends what it was, obviously.
Right. Well, what's the worst thing he could do? Have an affair with another woman?
I suppose, yeah.
Would you take him back?
No.
No. You've been warned, Leo. What about you? Are you sort of fairly... you're easygoing and shy, but are you forgiving? Are you tolerant?
With relationships, I don't think I would be.
No.
It's hard to say, though, until you're in that position and you've got to weigh everything up. But I'd say now I wouldn't be very tolerant of it at all. Yeah.
Do you live together?
No.
Would you?
No. I think it's a very taboo thing in my culture too. No, I still actually live at home, even though I'm 28. So, and Leo lives out of home. But no, I wouldn't live with him before. No.
Right. You say it's taboo in your culture, but it also sounds as though it's taboo with you.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I just wouldn't feel comfortable about it, I suppose. No.
Right.
And I'm quite happy living at home.
And do you see each other a lot?
Oh, it's hard. I work quite long hours, so during the week, not really, but on the weekends, yeah.
I'm curious, do you... you say you live at home. Is it a dual culture in terms of the way of life? Is it a dual culture?
Yeah, it is. I think we're
Australian
lucky because I think my parents are quite liberal, so we've had the best of both worlds, so as to speak. We still maintain a lot of our Sri Lankan culture and heritage, but at the same time, I think we've all blended in quite well with us in the Australian culture.
That first real date, when he rang you up. Do you remember that?
We had a few false starts, so...
All right, did you?
Yeah. It's kind of hard because I think we're both... Leo's quite shy, and deep down, although I'm quite vocal and it appears I'm quite confident, deep down I think I'm quite shy too, and I've always sort of run a bit from men, and Leo's always sort of run a bit from women, so it was a bit hard for us to actually get together, I suppose.
Yeah, and drop your guard enough to...
Yeah, I think so. And I think we'd known each other a while, and I'd always heard by the grapevine that Leo was, how nice he was and things, and I shudder to imagine what he'd heard about me.
Right. What had you heard about Shivanthi?
Mostly good. They said no matter what Shivanthi comes across as like, she's really quite nice. So.
Do you remember the first kiss?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's a little bit vague, but...
Do you remember where it was and how?
Yeah, it was the Footscray football oval at a function there.
In the middle of the oval?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was right between the goalposts.
They were both quite drunk, but I do remember it. And I remember seeing him the next day on the streets and running the proverbial mile. I was with my mother and I was just so embarrassed and I didn't know what to do and I was a bit awkward and I think running seemed like the safest option.
So you ran away?
I ran for my life.
Did your mother wonder why?
Oh, she wondered, yeah.
Did you feel embarrassed the next day?
Not particularly.
Did you run after her?
No, I was quite happy to let her run there.
I think he wished I kept running.
Plays on words, pun jokes? No?
No.
No?
No.
Can we think of one? Let's think of one. What's a good pun joke? Well, let me think. What's the opposite of escalator? Escalier.
Don't get it.
No, it's not a very good joke, is it? Excuse us a second, but I'd love to ask you about your T-shirt, because I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, I got it last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where from?
The ANU bar. Went to a death metal gig.
Are you a musician?
No, I'm not.
What do you do?
I'm a student.
What are you studying?
Associate Diploma in Welfare.
What are you going to do with that?
Hopefully become a counsellor.
Yeah? How long is the course?
2 years.
Why do you want to work in that area, particularly?
Why? Because I've worked with youth before for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Like street kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've got a fair bit of background knowledge, as it were.
Have you been one yourself?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Just circumstances with family.
Yeah.
And just
Did you run
kicked-
away or were you kicked out?
I got kicked out. So, yeah. I basically know where most of the street kids are coming from.
We talked to some street kids in Brisbane a while ago,
Okay.
and they were saying that it was the churches that helped them most, not the
Yeah.
police.
No. I don't know. I'm not a church-going person, as you can tell by the T-shirt. And, yeah, but I'd never had any help from the church. They've always given me hell because I've worn black all the time and my hair's too long and stuff like that.
Why were you kicked out?
As I said, family problems.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get along with my stepmother, as it were.
Right. Have you ever seen them since?
It's a bit hard. I saw my dad a few months ago when he was down here, but besides that,
Where are they now?
my dad's in Darwin. My stepmother is back in WA. My other stepmother is here in Canberra. Another stepmother is WA. So.
What about your natural mother?
She's in WA, I think. She rang me up in '86 and said I'm going to turn out like my father, an alcoholic and no hope and stuff like that. And that was the first time that I had contact with her in 14 years. So it's sort of like, what? How dare you?
And you're proving her wrong.
Yep. I think that's the main reason why I'm doing this course.
Yeah.
Just to say, use me associate diploma, stick it.
I was going to say, how did you change from being a streetie?
Just getting into the right crowd, going into refuges and living there, getting to know other kids, and then started from there and I started counselling kids.
They want some kind of recognition and I suppose companionship.
Oh yeah, yeah, they want peers that have been through like the stuff that I've said.
Yeah.
And I can understand where another person is coming from, even if I'm not 16 or 17, I've still got the street knowledge, as it were.
Yeah. You were saying your mum said that you turn out like your dad an alcoholic now, but is your dad an alcoholic?
I don't really know. He's in Darwin, so...
But was he when he kicked you out?
Yeah. Yeah, I can remember waiting up for him when I was about 10 years old and just waiting up until midnight until he got home and just chucking him into bed and saying it'll be all right and stuff like that. And yeah, I learned how to cook at a very young age. As soon as I could reach the stove, I learned how to cook because I had to look after my brother. I'm the rebel in the family.
Yeah.
And yeah. I've always been that way. Like, my hair's longer than my brother's. I don't listen to the music he listens to and stuff like that.
Yeah. You feel you got yourself together now, though? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel you've had a rough deal?
With life,
Yeah.
no. I'm still here. I've got scars to prove it. But hell, so's most street kids
Yeah.
and kids in general, and even adults. I've got scars which they don't want to talk about, but it's up to them if they want to.
Are you a professional joke maker?
No, I'm a totally unprofessional joke maker, actually. I don't know how I can do it.
Do you make jokes?
Oh, make them up, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How do you do that? You sit at home and write jokes down?
Oh, I just make a bit of joke soup.
A bit of joke soup, right?
Yeah.
Why not a joke stew?
Jokes. Oh, joke stew, that's a good one.